Hi guys, there's a question on Discord about Bspwm. Since I don't have it, I'll just quickly install Bspwm with the ArcoLinux tweak tool. There's an icon in there that the user wants to remove, so let's have a look. In the meantime, we have a video again how easy it is. So Ctrl-Alt-T, ISO. We're on the ISO for October. It's now 20 September, so in 10 days you'll get a new release. I was playing around with fish units here as well, so we changed our shell, which is not important, but right. So ATT can be launched like this as well if you have a terminal open, and it's of course also in here, the ArcoLinux tweak tool. Gives you a nice list of all the ArcoLinux based systems that this thing works on. So, desktop, I want to have something else. XFCE is beautiful, it's great, but why not, right? 28 choices, and then you log out. That was it. Then you log out, and you have Bspwm. And let's have a look. And the question is about icons. So let's investigate. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the question is, how do I get rid of this thing? So there are 10 workspaces. That's cool, that's no problem. Ctrl H. And let's also go for here. So Ctrl Alt F or Ctrl Alt V or Ctrl G. See that you know your key bindings, your keyboard shortcuts. T and then Bspwm. Let's see what he will throw at us. Here we have, let's see, 11 articles just about Bspwm. So here it is. All of these desktops are discussed in some manner, more in detail than the other, but it's here. So this is the first thing you learn. Be sure to read all of it, okay? And then later on you say, okay, fine. And then with these videos, you understood that the Bspwm is in here. That's the one. And that the configuration is here, but there is also something, a polybar somewhere running. And then you say auto start, you have a look, it's okay, auto start. What will it auto start? And it's gonna launch the polybar. Config polybar. This thing is polybar. Launch sh, then you move to polybar launch sh. So follow like a computer the steps it's gonna take. Launch sh is gonna check what am I on, i3, open box, Bspwm. That's the one it'll do. And then look for the polybar config, which is this thing. So up, you drag it over here, and this is what we need to, well, what it is, what constitutes, builds up Bspwm. So Bspwm, and we're here. A super F makes everything big. A little bit of scrolling. Control scroll makes it bigger for us to watch, and then go over everything. So what we're looking for is this little thing. Okay. Now let me think. I believe that could be this one, right? Bspwm, X window, kernel. Not sure, right? I have to experiment. You do exactly the same. Trial and error. Now, the code, maybe you say, oh my God, I'm gonna mess code up. Fine, Control C, Control V. You've got yourself a copy. Before messing things up, you got yourself a copy. But file system, etc, skel, there is already a copy. It's here, right? There is already a copy. But nevertheless, it's sometimes just easier to have it next to each other, because then you can do Bspwm, you can do something like, well, I was in polybar, sorry. Compare, and compare is melt. There you are. So these two guys, and then you compare. And you see, of course, there is no difference. Files are identical, but When I start messing with the code, like this one, wondering, is this the line? That's the Xmod, right? And now, if you do a reload, you see that I've removed the X window, but the backup is there, so I can always go back to the backup. So Super Shift R is a reload, and it's still there, right? So I wonder, maybe that's not the sign that I want, and X window is just the text that's here. So there is something in here that we need to figure out, and that it is indeed difficult. I have to think very hard what it could be, because Bspwm kernel, yeah, it's none of these guys, but there is a module called Bspwm. So I go down, find, main bar, extra bar if you want to, scroll up, find, and stack, 1000, 1100, 1300, here we are. There is a module called, and here we have it, there's a module called Bspwm, and it has icons, and check it out, right? The desktop number 1 is actually 0, which means if you start counting again, this is number 11. Now this looks like this here, but in here it looks like that. So let's see here. I always have to wonder, in what language am I in, what configuration am I in, how do I tell the system to not use it, right? Normally you would do this in bash. Here it's this, the semicolon. If I save this and Super Shift R, I'm gonna reload everything, and we have to do a restart, like proper restart, Super X, and then log out and let the machine take a look at the new code again, and it's still there. Cool, right? So what am I missing? But because it is really that line, I'm pretty sure of that, so I'm just gonna delete this line because I have a backup anyway, right? Save. Now let's see, icon, is there any other mention of icons? Formats, label, private, we have this icon, we have this one as well. There is this guy, so it could have been this guy, pseudo tiled label. So these are all labels. If it's tiled or foreground or full screen, and it changes, but he really wants to get rid of this exact thing, so I'm guessing I need to get rid of all of this in total, because here it is, the pseudo title. But we can do a small change here, just this one, save, Super Shift R, and I guess I'm gonna try a logout again and see. So it's more tricky than I thought, right? It really is more tricky than I thought. So we really need to get in there and find out, where was it again? Control find, Bspwm, find. Oh, I'm back in the beginning. So find previous is maybe faster. So there we go. So all of this, maybe too much to kill. So I'm thinking about the label state and label mode as the format. If it's focused, we get all that. Yes, okay. So this icon, this one, let's kill this one as well. Save, Super Shift R, and now it's gone. Now when I press the super space, we get this one, and that one is, I think, this one, floating. gives us that sign, that icon. Save, Super Shift R. So when I do super space, going through all the variations of how a tiling manager is used, it's gone. And if we want to study it again, and that's of course interesting to end with this, and that's the polybar. What did I change? And are there things I've removed? I've maybe removed too much. So this one is removed too much. So go back. X window is telling you what window is open. So you see the name, which one is blue. You see the name Thuno or something, and here you say melt, right? So that's the X window. It's not that. So back in it goes. And this is how you experiment with these things. And let's see, scrolling down. Well, easier is actually just closing, save, and do it again. Because if you do that, it actually jumps immediately to line 2700. So this one, I think we can leave it in. Let's try. That's the fun, right? Trial and error. I always say that's how we acquire knowledge. And just get rid of these guys and just keep that one in. These 6 lines, and that's it, right? Save, Super Shift R. And now this is X window, right? When I move over things, it's gonna tell, look, you're in melt, or this one is active. But the signs are gone. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is nicely there. But the communication of how it's styled or how it's shown, like floating here, that's still one that's still there. So if you say, no, I don't want that, this tilt here, it has to go the tilt. Okay, fine. So we look back into the code and say, where is this tilt? Somewhere. And we have a tilt here. And the tilt, where do I see it? I don't. Too difficult. Oh yeah, maybe best to go to another and then open up Sublime Text. It's here, Super F. The tilt, where's the tilt? That's the problem, right? There is no tilt. Always a challenge. But one of them, full screen, we don't see anything. Locked, sticky, private, monocle. Might be monocle. It's gone. Why is it gone? It's not gone. Here it's not gone. Here we have this line. Definitely a tilt. Is that because of the terminal? Or because of this? Might be just the terminal. Might be just normal. It doesn't show anything. Do we have another one? We have Super T. Termite is not installed, I guess. So it might be just a terminal thing. -S termite. Let's see. So yeah, I'm guessing this tilt has nothing to do with the exercise we're making here, we're doing here, and these signs are not popping up. But anyway, if you say, I don't want any of them, right, delete them. Simple as that. So yeah, voila, video is 40 minutes. Took a while for me to understand where it was. It is indeed not that simple, but here it is. So this is how I figured it out, and that's more important than the end result always. I try to teach you what goes into my, what is happening in my brain, right? Because next time around, you'll ask me something else. And this is how you analyze things. All right, cheers.